Yo ho! Welcome back to another edition of the Round Table Talk. I am your host C Money, and we are at part two, back again here at Tropical Park here in the Southwest Miami-Dade area. We just wrapped up part one where we gave you the entrance and a little bit of the front end. Now, if you're just joining us, you can check out part one, but I'm gonna give you a little bit more info. This is Tropical Park, which opened up as a racetrack in 1931 and became a racetrack, and was a racetrack until about 1972 when it closed down and opened up as a public county park in 1979. This is also the home of the former, now closed, Santa's Enchanted Forest, and now the Christmas Wonderland theme park, and as of this year is the future and will be the current home starting this year of House of Horror. Now we are here in the back part of the park. Now this probably here is an inside pavilion. I thought it was like a concession stand, but it is kind of like a concession stand, because if you come around here, you know, this is probably an inside pavilion for people. You see they have that. This is the kitchen and everything. They do have, you know, an area where they have like the gate down and stuff, which is could be part of for a concession stand and stuff like that. Now we've walked certain areas of the park. Women. So where's the men? Is the men's restroom over here somewhere? I don't know. Maybe it's somewhere over here. Let's see, this might be the men's restroom, but they probably got it locked because this area is, you know, roped off. But okay, let's go out. Now there are certain areas of this park I will not be walking because it will probably take me more. As you can see, if we do any park that I go to that has that is I'm doing a 2 parts to, that's basically telling you the park is a little bit too long. Like I say, most parks, if you walk around, it'll take you about 30 minutes to an hour, depending on which park. And this park is about taking me up close to an hour because I am doing a part 2, you know. So I'm not gonna go back there. I'm just gonna go here, and there's a lot of area. You know, the dog park is over this way. Now, as I mentioned earlier in the show, and I mentioned in part 1, this is home to Christmas Wonderland, which opened up in 2023, and this was the former home of the now closed Santa's Enchanted Forest, which graced this place for about 40 years. And they moved when COVID-19 hit. They closed in last year was 2019. They opened back up, I believe, in 2021, but they opened up in a new location, which was at the Hialeah Park Casino, for 1 year, and then they moved out west to Bentley. And in 2023, Christmas Wonderland opened up and became the new face of the here at Tropical Park, and also, you know, it became the new Christmas theme park here in Miami because of last year Santa's Enchanted Forest started closed. And we all know the reason why Santa's Enchanted Forest closed. I gave you my input on that one, and we're believing it out. And of course, Christmas Wonderland, that Santa's Enchanted Forest, once they moved, the ridership became low. I mean, not the ridership, but the attendance became low, and it became to where a lot of people stopped coming out to the park, and it became to where there was no more, you know, it became slow. So now we're going to continue walking over to this area. Now, seems to me like this is an area. Now, there's a lot of things that I would want to see in these parks, and I've seen them in several other parks. They don't do them no more. I think Amelia Earhart does it, but on the weekend. The paddle boat rides. Remember back in the day? Because a lot of these kids now will never know what paddle boats are. And I know now some of you are talking about, what are paddle boats? Now look at these. These are little boats that they have out there that they have that you can, you know, electrical boats, little mini boats and stuff. Now, a lot of you are probably wondering, what are paddle boats? Now, paddle boats are basically little boats that you use that are bikes for the water. You get on it, you sit on it, and you paddle your boat around, and you go around certain areas. I think the last time I went on a paddle boat was probably Lion Country Safari. Me and a friend of mine visited Lion Country Safari. I think this was back in 2018, if I'm not mistaken, and we went on the paddle boats. And the time before that, they have paddle boats at Zoo Miami, which is the video I'll probably be doing later on down the line. But yes, and a lot of these parks used to have paddle boats. I remember T-Walk Park had them, and a lot of these other parks had them, and they slowly started moving them away because more and more parks are getting into the themed, like water parks and stuff like that, So, yeah, this is called Ricky's Arepa. So, yeah. And if you Google it, and if you come here to the park, they actually have a location here in the park. So I'm guessing this location is a set location that is here in the park. So you can actually come here and buy food. Now we're gonna go check out Ricky's Arepas. Now I believe I've seen them before, because if I'm not mistaken, they've been in the downtown Miami area. But they have chicken tenders, they have a lot of stuff. You would think that it would be open around about this time, and get your drinks inside of a coconut, things like that. So they have a lot of things. Now, maybe one day I'll have to come back to this place to do a food review of them, because I do food reviews, but they're not open right now. So yeah, I would have probably bought something from them, but they're not open. So okay, we're gonna finish walking around the park now. If you want to know more about this park, you can check out their website, Miami-Dade County Parks, because this is a county park, and you can look up Tropical Park and see what all the amenities they have, because there's probably a lot more to this park than what I'm showing you, and that's why I'm going to where, I'm only walking the main portions of the park, and the trails above, but I'm sure, like you see, there was more walking area in the back, but I wasn't going back there because I just want to do the main parts of the park. They have walking trails, and they have a lot back areas that you can walk to. But I said, for the show's sake, and since each of my episodes are 30 minutes long, I say, let me just do the main parts of the park. This is the exercise area over here, but they don't have a tarp over their exercise area. So if you out there, you're going to be sweating. You're not going to be doing nothing. So this is the soccer field area. And if you're wondering where all these trees and stuff right there, if on the other side of those trees sits the area where they host Christmas Wonderland, and of course former Sanderson Chester Forest. Excuse me, y'all. So, slow down. As a matter of fact, we're going to walk down. We're going to see if we can get closer to that area. Now, if you want to have a more in-depth walkthrough of this park, if you've been in the area, come check it out. I'm not telling you, I know you're probably saying, you should go down that way, because there have been episodes, I've seen a lot of episodes where other people do like episodes of different locations. I'm like, they should go down that way, This is called the Rafael Filo Ramirez ball field. So I'm guessing this is the ball field. This is what I like about some of these parks, I like some of these parks that separate all of their sections, because some parks, they have a football field that also doubles as a soccer field. And I like the fact that this park has a football stadium. So I'm quite sure there are several high schools in the South Bay area that probably play their football games here. I wouldn't drink from one of these because these get extremely hot. So if you ever go to a park whether it's a county, city, or state park, and you see one of those, I wouldn't recommend drinking from them, because a lot of those, and there's one coming up, the water is a little hot. Even though they tell you, and I've been told this, and that you're supposed to drink your water at room temperature. You're not supposed to drink it cold. But a lot of us drink it cold. So if you ever go to a park and you see that, I wouldn't recommend it, because number one, even though the water may or may not be filtered, it's still like, let me test it out right quick. We're gonna press this. Oh yeah. The water started out hot. When I got into it, the water started out hot, and then it ended up becoming a little room temperature. But it's still not good enough to drink, because I really don't trust water like that. So I said, okay, I'll bring my own water. Or they had a vending machine over there where they have water, and they have one of those water bottle refill stations. Now the water bottle refill stations is good, because those are the ones that actually will probably be cold and stuff like that. So I didn't see a pool area, but I'm sure they have one, because they did say they have a Wanawega, center out here and stuff like that. So I'm quite sure they have a pool. This is probably another part of the park. Now we are coming up towards the stadium area as well, and I'm gonna see if I can get closer to. Now I believe this is the horse stables and stuff that sits over here, and on the other side of those horse stables lies where the area where Sanderson Enchanted Forest used to be, and now the Christmas Wonderland, and it's probably where House of Horror would be at, and when they open up this year, because I follow all three of those, theme parks, and they announced that they will be opening up here at Tropical Park. So Tropical Park, I guess, is becoming the main focal for the Miami local theme parks, except for the Dade County Youth Fair and Exposition, which it cannot be housed here because this park is too small for the Dade County Youth Fair. That's why it's housed at Tropical Park and everything. So we got it. So basically we're back to the front. This is the Fair. We're gonna walk this way. Gonna see if I can get closer to this area and see what's in this area over this way. Okay. But like I tell you, it's a weekday and things like that. So this area, we're gonna walk over here. Oh, I see something that's kind of interesting over here. It's closed off, so but we're gonna get as close to it. This is the football field, and that's the one thing I said about this park. This is the soccer field over here. Most parks, they have the football field that also doubles as a soccer field. So certain days the soccer players have to be on the football field. They can't be on the football field when they having football, stuff like that. But this is a soccer field, so you don't have to double your soccer area and things like that. So, and they say there are alligators in this lake. I've seen the warning signs. So, if you come to these area, just be cautious and be aware. I've seen a lot of squirrels that are out here as well. So. Now, one of the things I would say that I would like to see at parks is amenities, and not the original amenities. Like the original amenities is a playground, a basketball court, a tennis ball court, a pickleball court, and a regular pool. No, I want to see a water park, because most parks, they have water parks. I want to see paddle boats. I want to see things that you normally wouldn't see at a regular park. You know, yeah, we go to regular parks and we always see a playground and we always see a basketball court and things like that. So this is called the Tropical Fish Management Area, Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, Miami-Dade County, U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service Cooperation. This lake was specially selected and is intensively managed to provide excellent fishing opportunities, enhancements including fish feeders, fish attackers, lake aeration system, and supplemental fish stockings. Fishing license required, fish management area, and all the other statewide regulations apply. Special regulations: all black bass must be released immediately. Paying fish daily bag limit 20. Bluegill and red ear sunfish less than 8 inches in total length must be released immediately. Channel fish daily bag limit 6. Law Enforcement Officers Memorial. You are entering a hallowed site. Please show respect for those who have given their all. Refrain from any active recreational activities. So this is an area that is basically for the law enforcement and fishers and things like that. I just wanted to get close to see what it was and what it's all about. It's basically like an area where you can go fishing, and it's also like a area that is roped off where you have to have special licensing to enter and things like that. So I'm not, I don't really too much care. I just wanted to get close to it, and I would say a lot of my videos, you're going to see me going in close up to areas that is prohibited by personnel to enter unless you are a person who works for the area or you have, requirements to enter the area. So for me, it's, I just wanted to get close to see what it was, and it has over there, it has a markings across yonder. I don't know if you see it, probably a lot of people names who served under the areas and stuff like that. So you're probably going to see it, a lot of things like that in the area. So we're going to come around and come back this way. And this is the stadium once again. There are a lot of stuff at this park that is housed at this park. So if you want to take amenities, I see that this trail ends right here, or this area, this concrete ends right here. So I'm going to have to go back around. Not only do they house not only do they house Christmas Wonderland, and they will be housing House of Horror, they also do several events throughout the year. I know they do a rodeo type event every year, and I think in April. And they also, as we walked in, it looked like they did some type of circus show here at this park. So this park also has special events throughout the year. It's just when around Christmas time come around, you always get the Christmas theme park, whether it was the former Santa's Enchanted Forest and now Christmas Wonderland. And of course now it's going to be House of Horror. I guess House of Horror moved over here because they're doing big changes at the Miami International Mall. They're going to be building, and we're going to talk about this in future reference, they're building new high-rises and stuff in the parking lot areas of the mall. And I guess that's one of the reasons why they wanted to move, because I remember that the Sears that used to live at I never did a episode of Miami International Mall, but we're going to do one in the upcoming soon, where this old Sears that was housed at Miami International Mall, they turned it into a haunted house for House of Horror, and they used it. Now, I don't know how many years they used it, but I know they used it recently. And now House of Horror is coming here. If you want to know more about House of Horror, you can check out their website. I follow them on social media, so I get updates about them, and things like that. So we are now back towards the area of, we're more closer to the front end of the park. So we're back closer to certain parts, like the front end of the park. Because remember, when we came in the front end of the park, there was we did see the football field and everything. So we are here at the park. Now I didn't see a water park or like a pool or anything. I know there might be one here, and I know it's towards the back of the park because I think when I googled it, I've seen it. One second. I'm drinking water. You know I gotta stay hydrated, especially in an area like this. So, but I know the pool is probably on the other side, and we're probably not going to be able to get to the pool area, but we're going to walk as close as we can to any of the area of the park, because we're walking this way. We're going to be stepping back over to where the pavilions, the open pavilions are, because we're now back over here by the pickleball or tennis courts, however you want to call it. And there is, and so we're gonna be. I'm trying to push away from talking with the flies, because these flies are still around. And if I talk, they'll probably get in, because then in part one there was getting in, in certain parts of this part, they was getting in my glasses. And I have on a hat, thank God, because if you don't have on a hat, they'll get in your hair and they'll stay in your hair. And the only way to get them out is if you wash your hair. And I don't wash my hair every day. I wash my hair twice a week. And so it'll be like, they'll probably be in your hair unless you brush your hair off and things like that. So another bathroom. And I like these parks that have multiple bathrooms. That is a convenience, because it gives people more options. Because if you go to like certain parks, they probably only have one bathroom that's open and the rest of them locked, and then you try to figure out why they only got one bathroom open, and then you got to go all the way around the park just to get to that bathroom. Like, the bathrooms in the front of the park may be open, and then the ones in the back may be locked, so you got to walk all the way around to the front. You go to the back and you hanging out in the back, and then you say, I got to go use the restroom, so now you got to walk all the way back to the front to get to the bathroom, or you got to drive all the way back to the front to get to the bathroom, then you got to drive all the way back to the back to get to where you're at. So it's kind of hard and weird. So okay, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna stop at one of these pavilions, and we're gonna just go from there, because I've given you a basically outlook of the park. And so you see what this park is about. Let me give you a recap of the park. This opened up in 1931 as a racetrack for horse racing, and it closed in 1972 and opened back up in 1979 as a county park. And from the 1980s into 2019, this park was home to Santa's Enchanted Forest, the world's largest Christmas theme park. And then from 2023 until present, it is the new home of the new Christmas Wonderland theme park. And as of 2026, it is going to be the new home of the House of Horror amusement park. And also it is the home to several other events as well that is being housed here in the park. They have special events that happen throughout the year here at Tropical Park. So if you want to come check it out, it is Bird Road, which is also Southwest 40th Street, and the Palmetto Expressway. So when you take the Palmetto Expressway, you get off on Bird Road, which is Southwest 40th Street, and then you go west on Bird Road, and it's just a minute, less than a minute, because you can see the Palmetto Expressway inside of the park. Depending on where you're at in the park, you can see the expressway. So you will see this park, so it takes you less than a minute once you get off the Palmetto Expressway and things like that. So this is an area I'm going to see shelter by reservation only, of course. But you can come out here and hang out inside these pavilions. People come and hang out in these pavilions all the time. I've seen them at other parks. They come and hang out in these pavilions. So you can come hang out in these pavilions. It's just the one thing about these pavilions, they don't provide much ventilation, meaning that, if you can sit here and rest from the shade, from the hot sun, but there's no air conditioner or nothing here. So you will be still getting hot. It's just that the heat won't be beaming down on you unless you got air blowing in. You won't get any type of, coolization. You're just here to keep the heat from beaming down on you. So we are here at Tropical Park. This is the administrative office. Now I believe this administrative office was the first pavilion because this is pavilion number 2 if you saw it in part 1. So this might have been a pavilion that they turned into an administrative office, and that is the park office right here. So from what I see, so you have several administrative buildings in this park because this is a big park, so you have to have several administrative buildings. And this right across the street from the park, there's a shopping center, there's a Target, there's I believe there's a McDonald's, there's several restaurants. I've never been to none of the restaurants and anything there because every time I came here, whether it's for Sundays Enchanted Forest or Christmas Wonderland, I always ate what was in the theme park, and I ate something in the theme park. But, there's a shopping center next here, across the street. You can go to Target, you can go, there's several other places, I don't know. Down the street, there's a bird bowl. And I was supposed to do a video of the bird bowl, but we're probably going to have to save that for another day. I don't know if I'm going to have time to do it because it's not too far. It's like less than a 5-minute drive from here to Bird Bowl because they redid the Bird Bowl. If you don't know what Bird Bowl is, it's a historical bowling alley that's been here probably since the 1990s, maybe the 1980s too. But it's been here since the 90s and the 80s and 90s. It's been here, and it's one of the bowling alleys here in South Florida that hasn't changed and that hasn't left us, because there's a lot of bowling alleys, and we're going to probably talk about that in the near future. There's bowling alleys that have closed. There's one that recently just closed in Broward, and there were several here in Miami that have closed, and there's new ones popping up all over. But Bird Bowl was one of the bowling alleys that's been here since the day of time, and they remodeled the Bird Bowl and they added extra amenities too. Yeah, and I wanted to go do a video, but due to the time framing and everything, it will probably be another day where I'm gonna have to I can actually go there. So probably have to go another day to Bird Bowl. So I said, okay, I'll probably do it another day. We'll get it on another day, because if I would have came out here earlier and, had an earlier time frame, I probably would have been able to go to Bird Bowl, but because of that, no. But anyway, back to what I was saying. We're here at Tropical Park, off of South Bird Road and Southwest 40th Street. Bird Road, Southwest 40th Street, and the Palmetto Expressway. Home of the now Christmas Wonderland since 2023, and former home of Sundays Enchanted Forest that housed here from the 1980s to 2019, and the future home of House of Horror, which will be coming here in September of this year. And they're home to several other events as well here at the Tropical Park. So if you've ever been here, comment at the bottom of this page, regardless if you've been here for the park itself or if you've been here to go to either Sundays Enchanted Forest, or you've been here to go to Christmas Wonderland or things like that, or any special event that happened out here. Also comment, let me know what your memories is, because I never, like I said in part 1, I've never visited this park other than to go to Sundays Enchanted Forest or to Christmas Wonderland. And I always wanted to visit the park to see what is all at the park during the daytime, and now I have the opportunity to do it, and here I am at the park checking out the amenities here, other than coming here to ride the rides at Christmas Wonderland and Sundays Enchanted Forest. And also you can email me roundtable305 at yahoo.com if you have memories of this park, if you've ever been in this park, regardless if you've been here for the actual park or for any of the special events they had in the park, whether it's the theme parks or whether it's a social event or anything, event that's happening here, let me know what was your experience here at this park, and not only this park but any other park. Comment at the bottom of this page, email me roundtable305@yahoo.com. This is your host C Money. Ooh. As always, thank you for watching my episodes. Don't forget to check out Hotspots in South Florida, History in South Florida, Food Reviews South Florida, Traveling with the Roundtable Talks, and also a part of Food and Product Review. As always, stay safe, stay blessed, stay hydrated, and of course, I will see you in the next episode. Take care.